Hey, what's up guys, this is Glenn from Various Arts Media, and today I'm going to try to give a review of one of my favorite movies, Delicatessen. This movie was directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Marc Caro, who you might know from Amélie Poulain. Delicatessen, however, was their debut movie instead of the originally planned La Cité des Enfants Perdus or City of the Lost Children. This change was made to budget issues for the starting directors. The scene is a post-apocalyptic world, so obviously food is scarce. People all around try to trade grain, corn and lentils in exchange for meat and other food supplies. The story takes us to a small rundown town with a mansion left standing. In this mansion we meet a butcher who found a way to gain from all this misery by putting out an ad for a handyman. Whoever dares to apply for this job eventually ends up as a meal for the local cannibalistic inhabitants. A fun fact about this is that Jeunet actually lived above a butcher. Every morning he heard the sound of sharpening knives. His girlfriend at the time was always joking they were slaughtering his neighbors. One of the unlucky few that applied turns out to be Louison. He is played by Dominique Pinot. Much like every role in this movie, his character is almost cartoon-like. He's a former clown who finds it hard to say goodbye to his past. Besides him, you can also find a depressive woman who unsuccessfully tries to kill herself in any way possible. A deaf grandmother who has cans strapped to her dress so everyone can find her. A crazy person who lives in a basement and has his own snail and frog plantation, and so on. The atmosphere is set by a risky light setup that brings the harder edges of the people on screen. Even the camera shots have a very wide variety, from out-of-the-box shots to the perfect Wes Anderson, following the rules by the letter shots. These combined bring a whole new meaning to this surrealistic world. The post-processing of this movie is very typical for a Jeunet Caro movie, as it has a dark brown, yellowish tint to it. The sets are amazing and complement each other perfectly. The editing and cinematography is fantastic, which you can perfectly notice in several scenes that quickly become a game of light and sound. This includes both environmental sounds as well as instruments like a cello or, more surprisingly, a singing saw. Even though there are a lot of pluses to this movie, it still might not be for everyone. Delicatessen is very surreal and filled with black comedy. The atmosphere is very absurd, which might make it a bit harder to put everything in its place. On the other hand, if you are into black comedy, then this movie is a fine masterpiece that, in my opinion, could be easily classified as a must-see from the 90s.
C'est ce que je pensais, c'est le deuxième ressort, à droite.